we are at one of my favorite places to eat. It's called Texadelphia, which is a cross between Texas Fare and Philadelphia cheesesteaks, of course. So it's really cool. It's owned by a alumni from the University of Texas. So there's a lot of paraphernalia, from the University of Texas here. Like in the window, you can see. Anyway, they have this new soda machine, and it's really different. It is kind of a computer monitor type soda fountain, and of course, as you can see, it's got all kinds of flavors. And what they do is they put the cartridges down here below in the bottom of the machine. Anyway, I was sitting here trying to figure out which one I was going to get, and I pressed Coke. And lo and behold, we've got some soda news. We've got raspberry Coca-Cola. We have vanilla Coke. We have orange Coke. We have Coke with cherry vanilla. We have Coke with lime. So I'm going to try the raspberry Coke, and I'm going to let you know what I think. Okay, so I went outside the restaurant and got into the quiet intersanctum of my car to try the raspberry Coke, because people were starting to look at me and like, what are you doing? You're taking video of the soda machine. Also, when I was in there, I don't think I explained real well about the machine. The syrup for the soda comes in these VHS looking type cartridges, and so you just go and you put the cartridge in, and that's the soda, for that flavor. So it's kind of weird, and of course the staff at the restaurant hates the machines because the cartridges that they use don't last as long as the tanks that they're normally used to using that they hook up with the hoses. Anyway, on to the taste test. As I said, they had cherry vanilla, cherry, lime, and of course they have the diet versions of different things. But the new flavors that I've never seen and never heard of were the raspberry Coke and the orange Coke. Now I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm a die-hard Coke fan. In fact, years ago when they changed the recipe for Coke and they made what they called the new Coke and quit making the original Coke, I was actually very upset because the new Coke's flavor was it just wasn't the same. Now, they brought it back. They brought the original Coke formula back, so they must have got put on their medications or something, and all was right with the world. Then they started making the flavored ones, and, I tried the cherry and I tried the vanilla, and it's not that they tasted bad. They tasted pretty good. But they gave me headaches. And I don't know why. Whatever is in the flavoring would give me a headache. Whether it was the cherry or the vanilla or the cherry vanilla. The lime, I've never found the lime in the grocery store except in the diet department. It's always in the Diet Coke section. I never found it hardly ever in just the regular section. I mean, it was just very hard to find. And now, when I'm looking on this machine, they have the raspberry and the orange. But I'm also going to be honest and say that I'm not even going to try the orange. To me, that just sounds grotesque. I can't wrap my mind around orange and Coke flavors together. Because I hate fake orange flavor. Whether it's a fake orangey popsicle or candy, I can't abide by it. It just grosses me out. Anyway, enough of all my prattling and tattling. It is time to taste the raspberry Coke flavor. Not bad. Has a little bit of the bitter aftertaste. The bitter aftertaste is not what I like about raspberry flavor. I like it a little better than the cherry. But both the cherry and the raspberry and the lime, they all taste fakey flavors anyway. So I don't really like that. In other words, Coke, don't mess with perfection. Don't mess with perfection. What is your problem? Anyway. In other recent soda news, and for those in certain states who don't get Dr. Pepper, this is no news to you. Or other countries that don't get Dr. Pepper. This is of no consequence or news to you. But it is to me. Because it involves my childhood of all things. Yes, my childhood. When I was a little girl, my mom used to give me these tiny bottles, glass bottles, of the original formula of Dr. Pepper. Now, the original formula of Dr. Pepper is made with pure cane sugar. It is not made with high fructose corn syrup. Of course, all sodas were made that way back when people first started making and buying sodas. None of this high fructose corn syrup, which of course is cheaper and I guess easier for them to do, whatever. But I'll tell you, when they changed the formula for Dr. Pepper and they started putting the corn syrup in it instead of the sugar, it just wasn't the same. The other flavors that are in Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper has a very unique taste compared to other sodas. Very unique taste, especially the original version. The sugar brings out the other flavors that are in the Dr. Pepper, which make it different from Coke, which make it different from RC, which make it different from Pepsi, all those things. Well, in Dublin, Texas, a small town that's south of Dallas-Fort Worth, there is a place with a factory and a museum where they still make the original formula of Dr. Pepper. Now, some restaurants are very swift, and they've decided to carry bottles of the original Dr. Pepper. And of course, they charge through the nose for them. You know, you get your little ice-cold bottle of Dr. Pepper. You may as well be drinking a beer. I mean, you know, they're going to charge you more than if you just got, you know, a fountain drink, you know, from their fountain. So, but they still make the original formula of the Dr. Pepper. And we always call them Dublin Dr. Peppers. If you look on the menu, it will always say Dublin Dr. Peppers, because everybody knows what that means. If you're a Dr. Pepper fan. Well, I actually read an article recently where the main corporation that owns Dr. Pepper is actually in a legal battle against, I guess you could call it the production company that makes the Dublin Dr. Peppers. And I am aghast, I'm appalled, and I'm like totally confused because I didn't know that they were a separate enough entity that one of them could bring lawsuit type action against the other. That's like me suing myself. But apparently, I guess there's enough separation between the two entities that the large main Dr. Pepper Corporation is trying to take action, I guess, to get them to cease and desist with the Dublin Dr. Peppers. So, I don't know. It's just a very confusing thing to me. The last 2 years of my life, things have just been so strange, and this just adds to the strangeness. It's one of those things that you can't comprehend. You know, it's almost like the Penn State sex scandal. It's one of those things you really, the more you learn about it, the more you really cannot understand it. And you don't know how things got to that point. How you get from here to there. Anyway, in conclusion of taste test, the raspberry Coke is pretty good. It would do great to use it to make a mixed drink. Kind of like a lot of people use the other flavored Cokes and diet drinks to make mixed drinks. Those are not my favorite mixed drinks, so it won't be me doing that, but some people would really like that. So anyway, it's Lisa here with Always Looking Up with your soda news. Remember, drink your sodas in moderation. Past Nurse Lisa doesn't want to see you, do anything that's not in moderation. Remember, it counts and it works. Anyway, see you next time.